Hello, it's that time of the month, course report time. Let you know what's going on. Coming from a very, very sunny Sheerness Golf Club. Nice. So, this is the April course report. Oh, go this way so you can see me. April course report. It's April the 30th today, so it's quite late. I do apologise for that. It's been a pretty hectic month with Easter and the bank holidays and all that other stuff. But we go through our normal stuff. Obviously the grass is starting to grow now. So I'll do a quick rundown on the greens. We'll do one on the 8th green, and then we'll talk about the other stuff. But to touch on the weather first, as always, still been very, very dry. We've actually only had 3 days of rain since the 22nd of February. As reported last month, we actually had 0.0 in March, which is unheard of. April so far, we had 3 days of rain in April. We had one that gave us 22 mil in one hit, which was nice, needed. However, because we had quite a lot in one hit, it sort of sat on top, actually puddled up some fairways for a little bit, and then sort of evaporated away. So we didn't get the full benefit of that. We had another day where we had 0.8, nothing to talk about. And then one day last week, I believe it was Wednesday, we got 8 mil, which was quite nice. But you know what we really need, I don't really want it as a golfer, and as everybody else loves the sun. But what we really need for greenkeeping is a week of drizzle. That'd be perfect. But here's what it is. So April's kicking out 30 mil. The forecast into next week, the rest of this week and next week's all pretty good, sunny, dry. Like I say, which is great for us, great for golf, great for sitting home in the garden, but not so much for us out here trying to get grass to grow. Still very cold at night. We're still getting down really low, sort of 2-3 degrees. And it's been really windy. It's been a really windy year this year. I'll sit there and I'll watch the weather forecast, and the forecast is telling you how nice it's going to be. You try standing out here and blooming northeasterly wind. That's cold, very cold. But it's been a tough one. It's been a very dry, warm spring. Like I say, which is nice on one hand, but a bit tough on others. But there you go. So that's the weather report anyway. And I'll do the normal videos now, and we'll go through it, and we'll talk about it at the end. Cheers. So, green section. Greens are very good. I'm really pleased with the greens. I'm standing on the 14th green in a minute. I've just cut it. Still cutting at 4 mil, so we're not too low. And very, very typical for this time of year. We've got a lot of seed heads popping up. Now, pretty much every golf course in the country will have this right now. So if I zoom in down here, you can see these little seeds popping up. Now that is just natural regeneration really for the grass. It's what it does this time of year. It throws out little seeds so it can regenerate, which is, like I say, it's very, very normal. Every golf course in the country will be going through this right now. But what it does mean is, like, I've just cut this green now and it's rolling quite nice, but they grow up through the day, and the greens will be a lot different at, say, 2 o'clock this afternoon than what they are now. Can get quite nappy, and yeah, you do notice a difference even during one day. So what we need to do to combat this is plenty of grooming, plenty of vert cutting. We spray some PGR, some growth regulator out there as well, along with a feed, and it helps keep these down. But it sort of lasts for about sort of 4 or 5 weeks, and then sort of calms down. But it's very, very natural. But on the whole, greens are good. They're rolling nice. So we're not super low at the minute. We did get them a little bit lower and a little bit quicker for the Masters, which was a couple of weeks ago. I thought I had them about 10.4 for that, which they actually performed really well for that. Considering that's so early in the season, I was really pleased. But on a standard day like today, you know, they're good. They're rolling around 9.5, which is really nice, and they're playing well. So in general, yeah, the greens I'm pretty pleased with. So I'm standing on the 8th green, give you the update on this one. I haven't cut it yet, and the reason I'm shooting a video prior to me cutting it is because week before last we overseeded this with a disc seeder. And if you look, you can actually see the lines of seed where they're all starting to germinate on the greens. So that's brilliant. As previously said, it always looks worse on camera, and it's full of dew at the minute. We're winning this battle with the 8th. We literally waited 6 months for it to do anything. What I mean by that is from November to early April there was 0 growth on this green, but now we're at the beginning of an extended period of growth, and by doing what we're doing, overseeding, little and often approach on this green, we are winning the battle, and it's, well, I'm sure you'll agree, and I know you agree because you told me, it's a lot better. So obviously got big power infestation on this green, you can see it, the juice sitting on it, and it makes it stand out. And we're going to look at ways to try and reduce the amount of power in the green. Like I said before, I never get it out completely, but we need to manage it a little better. But now the fescues and the bents and the dwarf rye that we've been using as well is sort of growing and coming up and catching up with the power. Yeah, it's certainly a lot better. But yeah, for late April, we're showing signs of recovery, and the 8th green is looking miles better. I'm going to cut it now, and I'll show you a picture afterwards. Fairway section, brought you to the worst one, the 6th. Obviously we done this in the winter, didn't we? We actually smashed it up and sort of made it playable. It was really bad before. This season, undoubtedly the hardest season I think I've ever had in terms of getting seed to grow. Obviously that's all down to the weather, as we know. It's been very cold, very dry. Every area on the golf course has got seed on it at the minute is struggling. So the bit in front of the first green, in front of the 18th green is not brilliant. This 6th tees, everything that I put seed in is struggling, with the exceptions of greens and tees, obviously, because they've got irrigation. This one hasn't. So on the whole, the fairways are very good. We have a couple of areas where the leather jackets have hit 16, 18, 6. You can see by the coloration of it. They've been in there, so that's weakening that off. But the week after the Masters, we overseeded all the fairways with a disc seeder. We hired one in, and yeah, all the seeds in the ground waiting to go. We just need a bit of rain. So yeah, on the whole, fairways very good. Like I say, this is the worst one, but if you actually, same as the 8th green, you can see if I zoom in, the lines of seed from the disc seeder starting to show, but we do need some more rain. But yeah, tees are the same pretty much, but again, they've got irrigation, it's not as bad. But seed growth this year is minimal due to the weather conditions. But on the whole, fairways are pretty good. Right, I'm back again. I think we touched on pretty much everything we need to talk about in this month's course report. So the greens are pretty good. The 8th green's getting a lot better. And everything else is on the verge of going bang. We are out cutting pretty much the entire golf course. Obviously the tees are growing nicely. The 2 new tees that we've opened, 11 and 6, we're leaving them a little bit longer than the others at the minute. Don't want to rush them too much, but they're doing well. And yeah, they're growing nicely. The rest of the tees, again, they're starting to pick up. But again, they've got irrigation, so it's a little bit easier. Greens are doing well. Fairways in places are growing. Like I say, they've all been seeded. They're all sitting, the seeds sitting in there waiting to go. As soon as it rains, I can just see this place just turning. So that will help the scores that are coming in a minute. The scores, some of the scores at the weekend are just silly. In a month's time, I'd imagine it'll be a lot less, and I'll be getting moaned at because the course is too hard. So those of you that are enjoying this course conditions at the minute and shooting mid-40s, enjoy it, because it's not going to last, and I'll have no sympathy for you when you're moaning at me that you've only got 25 points. So I'm just putting that out there now. A couple of things that I've been approached by, so you know, valid questions, but as I've said before, everything we do for a reason. I'll highlight it out now in case you thought it and haven't said anything. I was approached the other day by a member asking why we're being lazy and not throwing our grass clippings into the rough. Now, grass is a living thing, and when we cut it, obviously it dies and it turns yellow. If we was to throw those grass clippings in the trees or in the long grasses, like a particular person asked, that would turn yellow and would just sit there and become very unsightly. There's obviously nutrients in that, which if you throw it near a tree could potentially do damage. And having rotting grass around a golf course, to me, just looks horrible. So we throw it in the cut rough, and then the rough mower comes along and basically disperses those clippings. So in effect, loses them. So that's why we do it. It's not being lazy. It's to, I don't like to see compost piles. Valid question. That was the answer I gave him. Like I say, everything we do for a reason. So if you're thinking it, there you go. There's your answer. It does work better that way, I think, anyway. I've run out of things to talk about, I think. I don't think there's anything else out there that I need to talk. So that's the end of the course report. If anyone has got any questions like that, by all means, come and ask me. I will always talk about anything out on the course. All the green stuff, we're all the same. But if you feel you want to send an email in or talk to the office first, that's fine. Obviously, this is all put on social media as well. So if you need to leave a comment in the box, anything like that, brilliant, not a problem. I'll answer anything I can. So yeah, that's the end of the course report. Hope you all enjoyed it. I think I've thought of everything. So hopefully May gets a little bit wetter, really. Not wetter, don't want wet, I don't want rain. Last time I asked for rain, I got loads of it. Just a little bit more, would be nice. And yeah, enjoy it. See you all soon. Cheers.